assemble.
Quiet.
Get these bars, you heard me?
I'm talking to you.
Okay, let's talk this game. Let's talk this game. Look, Saints, I'm here with a very important message in this holiday season, which is how about for Christmas you invest in yourself instead of wasting your money on foolish trinkets. I don't celebrate Christmas. If you've read my book, The Black Box, you'll probably read about the last time I took Christmas seriously. And, you know, that's a whole nother story. That's why I wrote it down. But personally, I don't celebrate Christmas, even when I was a Christian. Not that Christmas is actually a Christian holiday, because it's not. It's a pagan holiday. But anyways, I say invest in yourself, because the money you might spend on your loved ones, some of whom might love you, some of whom might actually not really care much about you, the trinkets that you get them, whether it's a diamond ring or a remote control car or an iPhone, all of these things will have little impact in their lives and your life in the long term. I asked my mother recently, what do you want for your birthday? She said, I want some jewelry. Okay, so I gave her some money to get some jewelry, but let's think realistically. Does jewelry create a memory? Is there a story to tell about how you came across the jewelry? Does it have any real emotional, sentimental value? Nah, it's just a trinket, it's a little toy, just a little something to look good temporarily. But when you invest into yourself, into experiences, whether it's traveling or it's a networking opportunity to meet people who can change your life, then you have a story, something you can reference back and say, hey, man, I remember the first time I signed up and took this workshop in real estate, and man, I never looked back. Since then, I've done $4 million in real estate sales, and it's changed my life. That was the best $500 I ever spent. That's what I'm encouraging you to do, is to ask yourself this holiday season, all those people, some of whom may actually love me, some of whom really don't care about me, if I didn't get them anything, and instead I did something that was not selfish, but something that shows self-value and made a self-investment, and I said, I'm going to invest into myself. I'm going to pay for myself to take a class in something that I really want to do, or I'm going to go to a conference, or I'm going to buy myself an online course, or I'm going to take salsa dancing classes, or I'm going to pay to live in a nicer apartment so I'm around wealthier people who will enhance me because they have a better network, or they have skills that I need, or I want to learn a little bit more about etiquette. I'm going to take an etiquette course. Whatever that is, I'm asking you, why is it that on Christmas you're shelling out money so other people can have trinkets and toys and meaningless objects, but you forget about yourself? And it's fine if you feel like you have to get people something, but why don't you get yourself something first? Why don't you first think about what you really need? Because here's the thing. On the internet, I see so many race hustlers, blaming white folks for black people being in a bad position, calling black people coons because they speak honestly about the situation of people of color, but they don't give you practical steps or tools. They don't tell you how to accumulate capital for yourself. They don't encourage you to invest in yourself. What they do is they support your weak ego in complaining about what you don't have. They give you more excuses, but they don't give you tools. They don't give you empowerment, and they don't push you. So what I'm telling you is to push yourself, because if you really want something different this year, or rather this month, or even next year, 2021 coming up, you have to do things differently. To do that, sometimes people won't like you. Sometimes the people you thought loved you, you'll find out that they don't really love you. And hey, guess what? If they really loved you, their love's not going to go away because you didn't get them a Christmas gift. Get them a Christmas card. But invest that money in a meaningful way in yourself. Why? Because this year you need to make a big change. A gentleman on my live session yesterday asked me, he said, hey Marquette, by the time I'm done working my 9 to 5, 8 hours, I'm too tired to work on my own company. And I'm like, bruh, yeah, if you're going to be too tired to work on your own company, you're never going to get anywhere. You're never going to get anywhere. But trip out on this. How is it you have the energy to work for someone else, but you don't have the energy to love on yourself by working for yourself so that you can take care of yourself? Because guess what? Your boss don't really care about you like that. Let those revenues go down. You're going to get a pink slip. They're going to let you go. Huh? But would you let yourself go if it was your company? No, you wouldn't. So I just want to say this so emphatically that you will never get a different outcome doing the same things. You will never get way ahead of the average person being scared. Why? The average person is a fearful little animal. And when they see someone jumping out doing something differently, they start to babble their mouth. Why? To discourage you from getting out from under mediocrity. Because they want you to be in the same situation they're in. That's why they babble and try to discourage you from doing new things, doing things that are different than them. That's why you'll find that in some communities, if you move out of your impoverished neighborhood, they call you a sellout. Why? Because they can't afford to move out. They want you to be in the same poverty that they're in. But here's the reality. The real world has hierarchy. And if you want better things than other people, you have to put in a better effort. So the young man who told me, hey, Marquette, I'm tired after 9 hours, bruh, that's cool. That's cool. You could be tired. You could be tired. But I'm going to keep hustling and keep getting this goddamn money. Huh? You can be tired, bruh. But I'm going to keep grinding, building up my fortune. You can be tired, but I'm going to keep on creating new garments with my brand on them. You can be tired, but I'm going to keep traveling all over the world, seeing new things, investing in myself right now. Did I mention to the people we're in Colombia?
You did not?
By the way, we're in Medellin, Colombia. We just got here today. And it's a beautiful experience to be able to travel the world. But it doesn't come from luck. Read my book. I don't say read my book for fun. I say read it so you understand what it takes to get out of the mud. You don't get out of the mud playing nice and playing fair. You get out of the mud by struggle, by sacrifice. You got to stop wanting things for free. You also got to stop letting people use you. You also got to stop using yourself for other people. What about you? Am I telling you to be selfish? No. Am I telling you to be a narcissist? No. I'm telling you that when you build up yourself stronger, I'm telling you that when you become wealthier, you have more to give. What's the value of a poor person with a heart of gold and they can't help anybody? There's no value. I'd much rather be a wealthy man with a heart of gold. Then I can peel out some greenbacks to help people in need. For example, yesterday there were two young men, one 18 years old, one 19 years old. They said, Marquette, I really want to come to this leadership conference. I know it'll change my heart. I said, hey, I totally understand. As a man, there's no freebie, so I tell you what, I'm going to do you this favor. Get your ticket, get your flight, because I don't want to have to handle your personal information, right? To book you a flight, like your birthday, your name, and all this stuff. Handle all that stuff, the simple stuff. And a flight to Las Vegas is like $50, $60 if you're coming from a major city. Handle that, and I'll get you a nice hotel when you get here. 2 nights is the conference, but I'll get you a 3rd night if you want one. For both of the young men, I told them I would do that. That's me contributing to them, but here's the key. I didn't say, hey, I'm going to cover everything, because that's not the real world. You always have to sacrifice if you want something, especially as a man. A man does not get any free rides. If your father didn't tell you that, I'm telling you right now. Put me in his shoes right now, because your father should have told you there's no free rides for a male. A woman, you might get plenty of free rides. Yeah. But bet my life that you're not going to get a free ride as a man. Do the people have any super chatted questions or comments?
Not yet.
They're just soaking up this game, huh?
Soaking it up.
Okay, let me see what we got here.
Someone just said I bought my concert ticket. I'm assuming he means conference.
Yeah, I'm assuming he means conference ticket as well. Okay, cool.
Absolutely. Another thing, while I'm talking about these race hustlers, I'm extremely bothered by the fact that some people will take negativity and just dive into it. And that shows that you have an absence of knowledge, you have an absence of good things in your life, you have an absence of goals, right? Because people will wallow in their challenges. If you see me out in the public and say, hey Mark, how you doing? Fantastic. What are you up to today? Boom, boom, boom. I can let you know what's on my itinerary. Most people you talk to, what do they want to bring up? COVID-19, Donald Trump, all things beyond their control. Why? Why do they want to talk about things beyond their control? Because the things they actually have control over, they're not doing anything about. Why? Because they're lazy. And here's the reason that I'm very happy poverty exists. Because some people need to be in poverty. Some people need to be in poverty because when they get out of poverty, all they're going to do is idiotic activities with their money. Hashtag Kim Kardashian. You heard me? So all these lazy people who are in poverty and they want to blame Trump, they want to blame the government, they want to blame the white man, they want to blame capitalism. Well, they miss one major person on their blame list. Themselves. They never look in the mirror. And that's the sad thing. And I'm here in the city of Medellin, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous city. And the neat thing about it is that it's a very wealthy city. And every time I travel abroad, I'm always impressed at how much wealth I find in these countries that are considered developing or underdeveloped. And the reason I see wealth is because I'm attuned to that. You know, we might drive by some favelas in Brazil, we might drive by some, third world situations in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. But when I'm anywhere, I'm not looking at the poverty, imagining myself in that situation. I'm looking at the high rise, thinking if I lived here, I'd be in there. You're a fool if you go through any situation and you want to identify with the people who are in disrepair. You want to identify with the people who are in poverty. That shows you have a poverty mentality. Now, though I pursue wealth, though I prize accomplishment, that doesn't mean I don't seek to help people. That's my whole mission. Unlike a lot of the race hustlers that you see on YouTube, unlike a lot of the misogynists that you see on YouTube, all they're doing is complaining about women or complaining about black people, or the feminazis complaining about men. These people are hateful, but they never give you strategy. Why? Because they know that if you're in a bad situation, complaint is going to work for you because you have a story to explain why you're down here. Because a story we never want to tell is called the truth. And when you tell the truth, you say, look, I'm down here because I made bad financial decisions. I'm down here because I was gambling my money when I shouldn't have been gambling. I should have been responsible, making wise decisions. I'm here because I didn't use my time like it was a valuable commodity. I'm down here because I didn't use a condom and now I'm a lonely mother. Or I'm down here because I didn't use a condom and now I'm a man with 4 different baby mamas. When you tell the truth, that's a story that's hard to deal with. You got to have toughness and fortitude to do that. So people pretend the truth isn't there. And they feel better. But it's only temporary. You only feel better till you look at your bank account. You only feel better until you see a good-looking woman. You want to take her out to a fine dinner and you can't afford it. You only feel better temporarily. So people use all these lies to make them feel okay. But I'm here to tell you, bruh, and I know there's going to be people at home, Christians, like, Marquette, no, you didn't get at me foul talking about Christmas is pagan. Christmas is super pagan. Christmas and your birthdays are worth nothing. Birthdays, in my opinion, those are celebrations for people who have accomplished nothing. That's why birthdays are so important to some people, because they never get celebrated throughout the year. No one ever celebrates them. Why? Because they're not worth celebrating, because they haven't done anything. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to be a man of action, a woman of action, so that you're achieving so regularly that when your birthday comes around, it's yet another celebration of you because you're regularly celebrated for your merit, for your activities.
Okay, we had one person ask, where do they sign up for Patreon? And another said, what does becoming a Patreon member get me?
So, number one, you sign up for Patreon at patreon.com/The Saint and the Sinner spelled out. Or you can go to thesassin.com and sign up. Has the same exclusive content on both platforms. Pick whichever one is easier or preferred to you. In my opinion, I think that thesassin.com, it's easier to navigate, in my opinion. And obviously it has a lot more things there. It has links to the merchandise, links to the conference schedule, hotels for the conference, links to groups you can join for specific interests if you want to get into content creation, if you want to get into real estate, personal development, life coaching, all those different things. So that is what I recommend. Now, another person says, what does a Patreon membership get you?
Yep.
A Patreon membership can get you several different things depending on the level that you come in at. There are 3 levels. There is the entry level, which is the visionary. And at that level, you get exclusive content, meaning that on a regular basis, I'm releasing videos on Patreon or theassassin.com that will not go public on YouTube. There are a great many of them, and those videos are often more practical. Like I'll literally go through a whole text conversation that I've had with a female, and I'll analyze it and explain to you why I'm saying what I'm saying, why she's saying what she's saying, how we can get to a certain outcome. Or just talking about things that are very sensitive that I wouldn't put on YouTube. So that's what that'll get you at the lowest level. One level up is the boss level membership. Boss level membership will give you the ability to request a video every week. So each week you say, hey Marquette, I'm going through X, Y, and Z. Can you make a video on this topic? And in fact, sometimes on YouTube you'll see me say, oh hey, I made this video because my Patreon or my member requested it. And then at the highest level, the emperor level, you get a 40-minute consultation every month, which means it's a one-on-one with me, whatever you want to talk about, whether it's a business you're starting, you're considering marrying a woman, you want to talk through if she's the one, you're considering divorcing a woman, you want to talk through how you can get out of there, maintain your assets, you want to talk about financial literacy, you want to talk about personal development, whatever the case is, it's your 40 minutes to talk about what you please. So you get that consultation monthly plus everything on the lower levels.
Okay, Peyton Jason just donated. He said, see you at the conference, Saint. I continue to distance myself from excuse makers and self-pity advocates.
Peyton, I appreciate that. I believe Peyton is in mental health, so certainly take a note out of his book. And just as much as when you guys get to the conference, you meet me, which I think should hopefully be a treat, you're going to be astounded at the quality of men that you're going to meet at this conference. Like, for example, as I said, Peyton is a mental health professional. He also has the Gentleman's Podcast. There are other professionals, eye surgeons, doctors, content creators with millions of followers, professional entertainers. There'll be some really cool people there, and it'll be a whole range of people. It'll be folks who are 40 years old, guys who are 17, 18, 19. So it'll be a great mix of saint kind, and I can't wait to be there. So shout out to Peyton. I'm looking forward to seeing you there, Saint. Anything else we have there?
Not yet.
Fantastic. And guys, I want you to know that you have to be relentless. If you're a real hustler and you're really investing into yourself, that's never something that you finish. It's a constant pursuit, right? So even me, I'm always thinking of new ideas, and more than thinking and more than reading, I'm taking action. I'm a man of action. I'd much rather err on the side of doing too much than doing not enough. Like, for example, your boy made these new joggers, you dig? Now, I don't even plan on putting these out to the market. Also, the vest I showed you, I don't plan on putting it out to the market. But as I develop more and more products, I get knowledge and experience that is absolutely valuable that I can impart onto other people. So I'm always making sure that I stay in the lab. If you're a basketball player, stay in the gym. If you're a boxer, stay in the ring. So me as a businessman, I make sure that I'm always creating product in all of these different verticals. And as a part of doing that, I make more business contacts. I meet more people. I get more experience. Napoleon Bonaparte, he was a French general and emperor. He said, if a nation is to have good soldiers, they must always be at war. Huh? No days off. No days off. Stop going easy on yourself. On these particular joggers, I put the strings internal. I think I'm going to just take these strings out. What do you think? Any objection?
No.
I don't think we need these strings. So this is I guess we'll just hold on to these in case I need an extra shoestring. But yeah, folks, another thing I really want to encourage you, as I said, I'm in Medellin, Colombia right now, and that's an investment in myself. That's an investment in Bridget. That's an investment in the people around me to go out places and make contacts. Because if you're going to be a real businessman, if you want to make tens of millions, perhaps even billions if you're fortunate, you can't do that all in one country. You have to understand foreign markets. You have to speak foreign languages, or at least have good contacts abroad. You have to understand how these local economies operate. You have to be able to identify value and trends that are evolving in different places. And so you'll never have a greater perspective than having touched down on different lands.
Metal Baby Slayer just donated through Cash App.
Oh, okay, Metal Baby Slayer. I appreciate it. It's been a while. Good to see you again, Metal Baby Slayer. Did the gentleman have any question or comment?
It just said, I don't know, it just said donate on Cash App.
Okay, well, Metal Baby Slayer, if you're in the chat and you have a question, please share it, because as I say, we always have to show love to those who show love to us. And sticking with the topic of Christmas and investing in yourself, I want you all to remember that, sometimes Christmas is a scamalicious holiday where you end up shelling out a lot of money to companies who care nothing about you, number one. And then number two, buying gifts to people who don't reciprocate. If you get a person to give this Christmas season, make sure that they're a person who is invested in you. And I'm not talking about they've bought you something petty, they've taken you out to dinner. They've brought ideas to you. They brought opportunities to you. Those are good friends. I have a friend right now that he had just messaged me. He said, hey man, where you heading to? And I said, I'm going to Colombia. I was like, what you up to? He said, I just touched down in Kenya. See, he's on my level, you heard me? I love people who are on my level. He's still continuing his life in the pandemic. He's still traveling internationally. Me too. But here's the thing. This man is also a tech entrepreneur like myself. I got one investor and opened an office in a particular city directly because of this man. He got an investor in this city and he said, hey Marquette, they love the work I do. I know they're gonna love what you do. Let me make an introduction for you. You're gonna be able to do some business here. That's opportunity. Matter of fact, can you remind me to send Ali a gift of some sort?
Yep.
MashaAllah. That's a good brother. That's a good brother. And you don't need a holiday to send a gift to someone who has brought you abundance. Remind me to hook up Ali with an Amazon gift card.
Okay.
Send him that, yes.
Rex the Olympian donated. He didn't say anything. Matthew S. donated, said paying tuition, also investing myself in my future. And then Engineered Appliance Repair donated and said great message, especially for the youth.
I appreciate all of those donations.
And we have more.
Oh, okay. Did they have some comments?
Jonathan said he donated said advice for a 9-to-5 job for a youngin'.
I'm assuming he's talking about advice on which 9-to-5 to get. Let me give you a secret, man. And I didn't understand what I was doing it as I was doing it. So a young man like yourself, definitely get the black box. You can get it at very low cost at assassin.com/theblackbox. The ebook's very low cost. Read it, because this is what I realized in retrospect. When I was in high school, I had some friends who were working in fast food, literally like McDonald's, things like this, or they were working in like petty jobs just to make a buck. If I could give all of you, not only the young men, some good advice, always be goals aligned. Meaning that don't work in fast food unless you eventually want to work in fast food, right? There's nothing wrong with working in fast food, I kid you not. One of my first investors, the wife of Sam Drosyegan, he's the founder of OkCupid, chairman of Match.com, they acquired Tinder, very wealthy man. His wife is also very accomplished, intelligent, lovely woman. And when I met her, she was telling me about her background. She's like, yeah, I just retired from McDonald's. And I was like, were you on the hamburgers or the French fries? I was just teasing her. She worked in corporate. To work in the central headquarters of McDonald's, which is a global corporation, I've never been to a country that didn't have McDonald's, as far as I can remember.
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia didn't have
Nope.
McDonald's? Okay, we have. We've been everywhere. But pretty much everywhere has McDonald's. So this one was very high up in one of the biggest corporations ever. So that's a beautiful thing. Now, there's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's in the restaurant if you eventually want to work at McDonald's in corporate headquarters. There's a level of alignment. However, if you plan on being a music producer, don't waste your time. I know you might not be getting paid well for your time today in your life, but value your time like it's worth $500 an hour. And ask yourself, if I'm going to use my time for something, how can I make sure it aligns to where I eventually want to go? If I want to become a NASCAR driver, maybe I can't work as a driver in NASCAR today, but maybe I can get a job in the front office of an oil change place. Make sure you're in the same industry you want to be to, so you make the contacts, so you move up in the world. Even Floyd Mayweather, you'll hear him mention, I think he said, I know Dana White for many years. Dana White owns the UFC. And he's a millionaire many times over. He says, Dana White used to carry my bags which is to say Dana White's been in the fight game for a long time, but he started down here. But he was always in the fight game. So that time invested worked in his favor. Make sure you start off in the industry you want to grow in.
Kate Chosen at Will donated. He said, for people not wanting to fall into that New Year's resolution cliche, what do you recommend are the most important tasks they should do in these final 2 weeks to begin their transformation and new habits?
Right, because don't get it. See, and this I want you guys to really understand. And it even hurts me that certain women I know have not soaked up this Marquettism. I don't mess with holidays because I didn't create them, I didn't sign off to them, I didn't agree with them. All this stuff of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the week, that's a concept of measurement. The year is a concept of measurement. But in reality, time is linear, it never repeats. Which means that your birthday only occurred one time, which is when you were born. The other time you say is your birthday, that's just you picking a day that's approximately a certain amount far away and commemorating yourself, which if that's not narcissistic, what is? But anyways, because everybody's born, why would you celebrate something that everyone gets? It's like everyone getting the last place medal. Anyways, but the new year is not a new year. I think of it as every day I go to sleep and wake up, I'm excited to be back in this world, and I get to be me, which is awesome. I get to be myself, which is wonderful. And my question every day is, who am I going to be today? And when I say that, I'm asking, how can I show the greatest part of who I am today? And I do that by making sure that I'm chopping down those goals. And here's the thing, if you're only setting goals on the new year, you're a liar. You're not a serious person because you're just doing that because everybody else is doing it. You're not doing it because you wanted to do it. That's why within the Assassin, we always talk about SMART goals. If you've been messing with Assassin for a while, you've probably been in one of our SMART goals workshops, which lets you know we don't set goals on the new year. We set goals on a regular basis. And most importantly, we check in on the goals. Because it's all good to say, I want to be an Olympian, but what are the steps that add up to you being an Olympian? If your big goal is to be an Olympian, then your small goal should be the most to be, I need to be able to run 3 miles in less than 6 minutes each. My fastest mile should be 5 minutes. I should be able to do 20 pull-ups in sets of 3, back to back to back. I should be able to jump rope for 30 minutes. I should be able to do fill in the blank. Those are the small goals. And then once you set those small goals, the question is, what activities will I do today? And then when will I test it? If you're not testing yourself, you're not serious. If your goal is to be able to run a 5-minute mile, and every day you're running and you're training, but you don't ever have somebody get out there with a stopwatch, you're not serious. So make sure that you get into those details because that's what defines a successful man from a jokester. And guess what? Most people are jokesters. That's why I have no more mercy. No more mercy. I used to walk around, I bullshit you not, I used to walk around and keep a couple stacks on me. Stripper money. You heard me? And every time a homeless person would ask for some money, I would give them some money. And then I eventually realized these people aren't serious because there was one time I was out near Calabasas, California. I just hopped out of the drop. I was walking down the street and a homeless female, what appeared to be a homeless female, had this sign, hey, I'm trying to get a Greyhound ticket to get to Texas because my father has cancer. And I thought, oh gee, that's so sad. And I said, well, how much money do you need? She's like, I got this amount. I just need about $80 more. I just reached in my pocket. I was like, okay, let me save you some time, shorty. Here you go, boom. Did what I had to do, went back, hopped in the drop. And then when I was driving out, I looked at the corner that she was on and she was gone. And then it dawned on me like, so you gonna clock out early now? Because the way I am, if my hustle was asking for change, panhandling, the way I am, I would have woke up first thing in the morning, started panhandling at 7 a.m. for the people who are on their way to work. I would have panhandled. Then if some random gentleman came by and was saintly enough to give me $80 just straight off the rip, I would have been like, ooh, that's dope. I wouldn't have stopped though. I'd have said, let me keep panhandling. I might meet another one of these guys. Let me panhandle till the sun goes down. She still had 4 more hours of hustling, but she clocked out. And then I said, ooh, we're not alike. I can't even be associated with that kind of energy anymore. So now I never give, I just never give something for nothing. Anytime I give somebody something, I need you to do something. Just like the young men, I said, hey, come to my conference, absolutely. I'll pay for your hotel. I'll get you a nice hotel. 3 nights, no problem. But you have to invest in your tickets. You have to invest in your flight. Put something on the table. In business, we call it skin in the game. You never want to do business with people who don't put skin in the game. Sweat equity, aka time, financial capital, introductions to the right people. They have to have some level of risk so you know they're serious. So now I look for skin in the game anytime I deal with people.
Okay, there's a couple donations. Lee E donated, he said, paying tuition, great live stream for a Sunday.
Appreciate it, Lee.
Roland Coulthurst said, being yourself and watching haters hate sure is entertaining.
Shout out to Roland. He's going to be at the conference, folks. And I really appreciate that I can recognize people, because so often people ask me for stuff, people in real life and people on the internet, and I don't know them. I'm like, yo, I don't even know you. How dare you ask me for a favor? I don't even know you. But I love when I do know people, like Gaius, for example, and then there's a mutual exchange, or Jabrizi, for example, there's a mutual exchange. We can ask each other for things because we're friends, because we're familiar. So I really want you guys to get that concept in your head of, you know, as a man, don't ever ask for anything for free. Always be willing to render a service, and always remember, as a man or woman, familiarity is an asset. People knowing your name is an asset. I recognize Roland's name.
Okay, Cameron also donated. He said, how do you stay focused throughout the day? I always default to YouTube and waste time. I'm trying to change this habit. Thanks.
Got you. Well, you know what? That's a phenomenal question, Cameron, and I want to advise you to use tools if you can. For example, there are technologies that you can download on your computer that will block certain websites. I once downloaded a technology to block Facebook.com, to block Instagram.com, so that anytime you type in that website, it won't even load. And you can put a timer on it so it'll block it for certain hours. So that's one thing, is utilize those tools. But another thing is, when you replace a behavior, or you want to change a behavior, you have to ask yourself, well, what am I going to put in that spot? So in place of YouTube, what will you be doing? Seriously, ask yourself. In place of all these time-wasting activities, what will you be doing? You can only know what that is if you've written out a to-do list, and this to-do list is aligned with your small goals, and your small goals build up into a big goal. And you got to be serious about it. You have to put emotions on it. So anytime I write a goal, I also write, why is this my goal? You feel me? If I write that I want to make $40,000 a month, why? What am I going to do with that money? If I don't have a big idea on what to do with that money, I'm not going to be motivated to get that money. Now, when I say, okay, man, I went to the antique car store, and we were looking at all these gorgeous cars. We saw the car that was in the James Bond movie. We saw the Phantom 5 Rolls Royce. It was so gorgeous. There's only 6 of them that exist on the planet Earth, and I want one. That's why I need to make $40,000 a month. You see, like, you have to find something that you need, and that's going to keep you driven.
Okay, there's quite a few people asking about the conference, if it's too late and how much tickets are. And then someone asked if you could send the conference info because he's driving.
I have a website. It's called thesassin.com, THESASN, and you'll find pretty much all of our information on there. If you go to thesassin.com and you click conference, you can buy the tickets. They're listed at the top. They're $269 US, and that is the cheapest conference ticket you will ever find. I encourage you to Google what's the average price of a conference, and you'll find that this is less than half of that. Further, below that, I give a listing of all the hotels in Las Vegas that are low cost. If you want to stay in a hotel for $40 a night or $30 a night, it's on there. You want to stay in a hotel for $400 a night, it's on there. And shout out to the council, shout out to Gaius Preston, who put that list together for you guys. And also on there is a little taste of the schedule, which we haven't actually put everything on there, but we're going to make sure that that's pretty much filled out. So that should give you all the information that you need.
Okay, Hoover D donated. He said, I'm finally understanding your teaching about being able to be happy every day. That's my goal. Thank you for your teachings.
That means a lot to me, because no matter how much you hear me talk about the bread, being happy is, dude, like, man, I am happy all the time. And when I find that there's someone in my life that's pulling me away from happiness, they gotta go. They gotta go. Because happiness is priceless. Most people, when they pursue women or they pursue money, they're pursuing happiness. So if you can just get the happiness without having to deal with the money or the women, you're gonna be in strong shape. And I'm happy every day. And a lot of that comes from making progress. You might be in a bad, low position, but if you can make an inch forward, you're going to feel much better. And every time I design something new, I feel better. Every time that, I make a new business contact or, I do something good for a good person, I feel great. And you're right, you can be happy every single day, and that's why we're building the Assassin, so we can be an example to mankind. Because so much of the world out there is lost. You find people who would get on YouTube and make such mean comments, just mean comments, and they think that they're saying something reasonable about the person they're talking about, when in reality they're just exposing the wickedness in their own hearts. And it's really saddening to me, so I'm so pleased that you've really found that special sauce to make you happy every single day. And I want to let everyone know that this is possible. You can live the life that you want. Me, I wanted to travel all around the world. And if you check my videos, you'll see we travel all around the world. Rain, sleet, snow, sunny, pandemic, no pandemic, we're going to do what we do. Because as we say in that 3-sentence Bible, that 3-sentence Quran, number 1, be who you are. Number 2, be good to yourself. Number 3, be good to good people. And as I say with this particular message about, hey, make this Christmas about you, invest in yourself. That's number 1, be yourself, know who you are, and then be good to yourself. Know what you need to make yourself happy.
Okay, I have a couple comments and then some super chats. So Smile Nial said he used to follow Coach Red Pill, but not anymore. You are the real deal, and his life is way better now that he started listening to you.
I appreciate that. And I do want to make a small note that a lot of the Coach Pink Pill followers have pulled up on my comments. It seems like a lot of them are racist. And you rarely hear me throw around this kind of a term because most people use racism as an excuse. But yeah, undoubtedly, he seems to have a lot of racists following him. And I want to discourage all of you from racism because I've been around the world. And I've dealt with Asians, Africans, whites, Latinos. And I hate to say it, I wish it weren't true. But they're pretty much all the same. They're pretty much all the fucking same. So,
Okay, real quick, Bilal, I think it's a Masadi, donated through Cash App. It went away, so I'm not sure what he said.
Bilal, I appreciate it. I don't know if this is Bilal that had joined a debate some time ago, but regardless, I truly appreciate that. Bilal, if you have a question, please do type it in.
And then we have, someone asked, is the conference going to be live streamed for those that can't attend? Wouldn't mind paying to see it online.
I can tell you for sure, and I always want to focus on what I can say with certainty. We will record every moment of this conference, everything, every moment. And we will do a good job at that. In fact, I just invested damn near $2,000 in audio video equipment. We're talking high quality, studio level TV production, microphones, boom stands, shotgun mics, wireless adapters for XLRs, gimbals. So it's going to be recorded. It's going to be recorded well. It's going to look good. We're very excited. We really want to do some fun things with music. So for the people who buy their ticket, whether they are in attendance or not, they will get a copy of that because one, I want them to remember this fun experience. It'll be more fun than your wedding was, right? And it's also very educational. So they're going to need to reflect on this information. So for that reason, they're going to get access to this footage. Will it be live streamed? I don't know. I cannot be sure. So
Part of the experience is the other men they'll meet.
Yeah, I'm not really into I can't lie to you guys. I'm not really into the internet stuff. You'll probably notice I get people in my DMs like, hey Marquette, what do you think of so-and-so? And I'm like, I don't even know who this person is. All the guys I know of from you guys, right? Whether it's Kevin Scamuels, I only know of him because one of you guys told me. Coach Pink Pill, I only know him because one of you guys told me. I don't research these guys. Me, I'm highly focused. You ask me what I know about software development, production of hardware devices, mass manufacturing, textiles, philosophy, political science. That's what I know about. I don't know about some random imbecile on the internet who's making up things. I don't know about this stuff. So I say that to say, the reason I come on YouTube, which I really don't love the platform, I don't even like reading the comments half the time because it's goofy people. They're not intellectuals. I spend most of my time reading the comments on theassassin.com or on patreon.com. True believers, intelligent men and women who want progress in life. But I say all that to say, I want to take that community offline and bring it in person, because this is real connection. When you shake a man's hand, when you hug a woman, that's connection, that's friendship. You can never build a real relationship when you're here and the other person's on the other side of the planet Earth. So this is going to be about real connection. Will we release the video if people want that afterward? Will that be for sale? Maybe. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure.
Okay, we have 2 super chats. Count Rios donated, said cold as ice, solid and sound, money saved. And then Bryce Robertson donated. He said he's also 18. He can cover the flight and ticket, but would he also be able to get assistance with the hotel?
They about to break you with this.
I
hotel. I'll tell
know.
you what, though. Bryson, this name sounds so familiar.
He was on yesterday asking if there's going to be a second conference.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, so now he's ready to get on the good foot. Bryson, go to
Bryce.
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 Thank you. Go to theassassin.com, click the contact, reach out, contact us, just select conference and write, I'm 18 years old, I'm flying in from this city, and I would be thankful if I can get a hotel covered by Marquette. So I don't know how many hotels we're going to have to cover, but right now we have agreed to cover hotel accommodations for 3 teenagers. Now, if you're like 22, hey, I'm sorry.
Or 20.
I ain't got money like that. But for 3 teenagers, I will cover personally the cost of your hotel.
Okay, Cameron donated. He said, are you looking to do conferences in the future?
I don't know, because to be honest with you, it's a big production. And I do want to say that as a happy person, if you want to be happy, stay in the present. The future doesn't exist and the past doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is the present right now. Like these things you can touch, the things you can deal with right now. I try not to go too far into the future. Our conference is not too far out. I can visualize that. It is taking an awful lot of work and it's not profitable, meaning that I've put the price so low so that everyone can afford to come. So 18-year-olds can afford to come. I'm losing money, and as you see, I'm covering the cost of people's hotel too, so I'm losing a lot of money. Do I want to get into the conference business? Probably not. Do I yearn to be able to see the saints in person? Absolutely. Do I yearn to build up a headquarters, a community where people can come and get education, they can come and train physically, they can come and share knowledge, they can come and engage in creative works, they can come and just watch people who are successful run their business and learn through shadowing? Yes, I want to build that. But I'm going to need your help to do that. We have the council, and they're doing a great job. You see the name Preston, you see the name Gaius, you know, all these guys, you see the name Lavelle, you see the name Jabrizi, all these guys are working so hard to help, but it's very taxing on me. So this first one, we're going to see how it goes, and you know, we'll talk about conferences after we get the first one done. So as a man, always remember, one thing at a time. First things first.
Okay, DJ Chris Cruz donated and said, love the content from Dallas.
Shout out DFW. I love Dallas. We've been through there a couple times.
Like in the past 2 months.
Yeah.
Terrell Robinson said, how much does your book cost?
And Bridget, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say it's like $10 on, if you get the ebook, it's like $10.
$9.99 for ebook, $16.99 for paperback on Amazon. An
Okay.
ebook through us is $9.99.
Yeah, the ebook through us is $9.99. So you can go to theassassin.com/theblackbox, $9.99. $10 well invested.
We have Diva Q Speak said, so much more inspiring than Kevin Samuels.
Right, and I want people to understand this. And this is hugely important. I want to be honest. A lot of women dislike Kevin Samuels, and so because they feel ill will toward Kevin Samuels, come in closer, love.
Okay.
They feel ill will toward Kevin Samuels. What they want to do is they come to Marquette Devon Burton. Now, there is some merit to that in as much as Kevin Samuels will just dog you out, tell you you're fat, stupid, and that you have no chance, and then he'll leave you there. Nah, I'm about building. So I might tell you similar truths. I'm not gonna call you fat and stupid because, men, I want you to know if you're talking to a woman, your words matter. If she has not proven herself to be a dirtbag, if she has not insulted you, assume she is of love and speak to her in that language. So I might tell you, love, you do need to work on your body for your own health, to love on yourself. You do need to improve your credit. You do need to fill in the blank. So I'm gonna tell them, yeah, you need to do that, but here's the kicker. This is the major difference between these YouTubers and the big homie. I'm also gonna say, hey, join these lady saints. We have a couple women that I'm so proud of because they're great professionals. They have clear minds. You know, they're not gender feminists. They believe in the man and the woman being complements to one another. They're good-looking women, good-looking women. And these are the kind of women I want to put you around so you can develop yourself. You can develop your professional skills, your interpersonal skills. You can get the opportunity to meet a good man of good values, hopefully one of the saints. You can get in good physical condition. So I want to provide you with that support group, with the strategies to actually become a better person. Because guess what? If you read up on Marquettism on the About page on thesassin.com, I believe one of the quotes says, you do not become bigger by making someone else smaller. And I find that Mr. Samuels spends a lot of time making people smaller. But here's the thing, my video about him is not about women, it's about business. Because a young man came to me and said, hey, he gives great business advice, you give great business advice, you guys should link up. I actually did send him a note. A lot of people are like, why didn't you reach out to him? I did. We reached out to him on 3 different platforms to have a conversation. Not off some YouTube stuff, but off of some like, hey, like, let me chin check you because you're misguiding young people. And Bridget can attest, did you not send him a communication?
I did.
Thank you. And that was a long time before the video. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Okay. So, like, always know my character and know that whether I show you a receipt or not, bruh, I'm 1,000%. I'm 1,000% more than anybody you know. And if you really know the things that I've actually done in real life, even though I might sound arrogant, you'd realize it was actually humble if you know what I've really done. Read the black box. And as you read through the whole thing, know that there are things I had to leave out of there to protect the guilty. There are things I had to leave out of there because of the statute of limitation. There are things that will blow your rabbit ass mind. So show me my respect. Get in!
Okay, Metal Baby Slayer donated on Cash App again. He said he is in the same boat. He's 19. He already has his conference ticket but needs assistance.
No shit. Okay, so let me tell you this. Metal Baby Slayer, look, I'm going to do you a solid. Do the same thing I told them to do. And let me know. And we're going to get you set up first because you've already gotten your conference tickets. And I'm going to do this for my own pocketbook to make sure I don't mess around going bankrupt and messing with y'all. I'm going to do a limit of 4 free hotel accommodations for the Saints who are 18 to 19. Or put it
18 and 19.
19 and younger. How's that?
Okay.
19 and younger.
4.
19 and younger, I will get your hotel accommodations, the first 4 persons to get their ticket. Metal Baby Slayer already has his ticket. Just send me your name so that we know
We can
who we're
confirm.
reserving
Yeah,
it
and we
for.
can confirm that he has a ticket.
Yeah, and we'll confirm your ticket, and then let me know if you need 2 nights or 3 nights, and then we'll get you set up.
Okay, we have a couple other questions and donations. So John Joseph, real quick, he said he does not have credit cards. So is there any PayPal payment method for Patreon or thesassin.com?
Yes. Shout out for not having a credit card, bro. Shout out to you. So Patreon, no, you're screwed there because Patreon is owned by some random dude I don't know. Thesassin.com we own. When I say we, I'm talking about the Saints. Everything I do is a we. You heard me? The Assassin, that's we. I'm investing a lot of bread to make something for you guys. That's we. The conference, I'm investing more bread to do something for you guys. That's we. The price is low because it's not a business. It's an opportunity. That's we. The assassin.com, yes, I can get you set up on there. If you would do me a favor, and email me, or don't email me, go to the contact form on assassin.com, just let me know the situation, and then you can Cash App or PayPal, and then we'll get you set up with a membership. Thank you.
Okay, real quick before the other donations, Moneymaker, who's one of the ones that's 18 or 19,
Okay.
he said he did buy his ticket. How does he show us proof? Just email us his name and let us know it's him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one thing I want to let you guys know is like, please don't take food out of people's mouths. And I'm so dead ass serious right now. And this goes for men and women. I want you guys to listen closely to me on this, because this is a very strong principle for me. I was talking to, I've had this conversation with several women. I said, look, if you were one of two wives, how many days of the week would you want my attention as a husband? One young lady said, well, I'd want 4 days and the other wife gets 3 days. I said, well, why is that? She says, well, I'm the first wife, so I should get more time. And then I thought, okay, so you're basically saying that even though you're both human beings, you're both good people, you should have more than she has. So there's nothing wrong with valuing yourself, but don't undervalue other people. To me, that speaks of your heart. If you have a good heart, you don't take food out of other people's mouths. You don't reach into the pot and take what you don't need. So what I really want to let you guys know, if your parents or you can afford your own hotel accommodation, do not take charity, because there is one who requires charity to be there. There's a young man who is going to scrape the money together to get his flight. He's going to scrounge to get the money for the conference ticket. He needs the charity for the hotel. Do not take the charity if you don't need the charity. That will never be good on your soul. That will never be good for you.
Okay, we have quite a few super chats. So PTTR Trading Cards donated and said is an audiobook version coming anytime soon.
My guy, I've already started working on the audiobook. Yeah, it's on its way. I'm excited. So, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
J5 donated and he said paying tuition until I can afford to be on Patreon again. Please think about doing a conference post-COVID for the International Saints.
I'm thinking about it, Saint. I'm thinking about it.
Okay, and Nick SK donated. He said, why do many people fail with New Year's resolutions?
Because they're not serious. The same people who fail with a New Year's resolution is the same person that's failing every day. That's the problem, is that we don't acknowledge when we're failing every day. You see, when you live a day on the planet Earth and you don't exercise and sweat for 30 minutes, you failed. But you might not recognize that. If you're not making a muscle strong over time, it won't be strong when it's game time. That's why they fail. You're not all of a sudden going to be good at achieving goals because it's the New Year's if you haven't been good all year. I'm always talking about practice. I'm always talking about putting yourself to the test. And I know you guys probably saw that funny video where Allen Iverson was being interviewed and they're like, hey, you didn't show up to practice. He's like, practice? Practice? Nigga, we talking about practice? Well, at his level, he's already practiced thousands of hours. So maybe you could say, we talking about practice? Yeah, maybe you could say that at that level. But when you're trying to build up, you need practice. That's why people are failing on their New Year's resolutions, but also it's because they're not serious. I want you to be serious. I want you to be obsessive. I want you to be weird about how much you want your ends. That's when you'll get it. I was talking to a young man on a consultation, and shout out this young man. I admire him a lot. He's in the San Francisco Bay Area. He's very much so into entrepreneurship. And then he was asking me about how to get intense about goals. I said, every day I write down what I want. I want to earn $40,000 a month, whatever it is. I want to earn $40,000 a month. I write it down every day, and then I write down all the steps I have to take that day to achieve the goal. Then the next day, I write down the same goal, I write down the steps, and I rewrite it in different words, in different languages. If I can write it more precisely, more accurately, more detailed, or more succinctly, I do it. I rewrite it every day. And I said, hey, check this out. And this is what I showed him. I was like, so you know I'm not playing with you. I have to go through all mine. I say, I write it out every single day. I said, look at this book. You see all these pages ripped out? That's because I wrote down the same thing every goddamn day. Front and back, the same thing. and I rip out the page and throw it away because I already know what it says. The same damn thing every day. If you're not intense like that, you ain't gonna win. I want that kind of intensity in everything. You're not gonna go in a boxing ring and not be intense. You need to go into every pursuit like it's life or death. That's why you can't waste time doing things that don't add up to your goals. I don't ever play video games. Never. I don't even have conversations about video games. Never. It's a total waste. It doesn't add up to anything I want. Now, if I want to be a video game software developer, that'd be a different story. But I don't. So I want you guys to get intense about what you really want, man. Like, you guys got to stop playing. Like, I write a lot. People are often saying, well, Marquette, how can I be a good speaker? Well, reading is important, but writing is extremely important. I write a ton. And people are often asking, like, hey, do you practice before you go live or before you give a speech? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm always writing. Practice is everything. I might make it look effortless. I might make it look easy. And truth be told, I don't need to practice before I do it, but I practice it anyways. Why? Because it gives me a mental edge. Because if I know for sure I'm already better than you at public speaking, I know I'm already better. Maybe I was born better. Maybe I already practiced enough in the past to get better. And then I practice some more. Well, now I got the edge. And I want that. I want to feel like I've beaten my competition in every way possible. You got to be obsessive about winning. You're not really a winner if you're not going the extra mile. That's what I love about Mayweather. It's because he goes the extra mile every time. That's why he knows how he's going to perform. Because he's done it a million times. When he gets in the boxing ring for a match, he feels comfortable. He's right back in his office. He's right back doing what he did the day before and the day before and the day before that. Get serious. And the reason I use the term serious is because my mentor that I had, who was a total jerk to me, Sam Drosyagan, very wealthy man. I gave him a presentation. And this is after I'd won many awards for public speaking. I've never not won first place in a public speaking situation. I've never not won first place in a pitch contest. I gave him my pitch and he said, "You're not serious." He was dead ass too. He said, "You're not serious." And I'll never forget it. And I understood what he meant. With any other?
There's a couple of super chats.
Okay.
Wise Thinkers donated and said, how can I get rid of a phone addiction? You kind of already answered that earlier.
Okay.
If you want to just go over
Yeah,
that.
there are also mobile apps that you can get that will lock your phone. It'll literally lock your phone, or it'll disable certain apps from being used. And further, your phone addiction, this is called nomophobia. I know because I used to produce mobile apps. I guess I can't say I used to. My apps are still on the markets. But it's called nomophobia. You're not the only one addicted to mobile technology. But the question is, in the absence of being addicted to your phone, what do you want to be addicted to? Your goals? What's your goal? Find something you can get obsessive about, something you can invest time in, something where you have a mentor who's going to demand a lot of you.
Okay, we have a couple more super chats. Count Rios donated. He said $10 for helping the young bucks. Personally, I would sleep outside if I didn't have the money like a gentleman. But then again, some people are farmers, artisans, or merchants. A gentleman is a warrior.
That's right.
Okay. We have another donation. Bois Nior said best way to prepare for the conference. And then he did follow up later saying like how to get the most out of the conference.
The most important value that you'll ever find on the planet Earth is people. Most important value. So what I want to advise you to be aware of is you're going to be around saints. Men who are encouraged to get to know you, to greet you warmly, to embrace you. And so you need to come with that same level of openness and love and embrace them with mutual respect. And build bonds with men whom you have alignment with. There are going to be guys who are there, they're really cool, they dress cool and all this stuff, but think about the guys you have goal alignment with. Oh man, you want to become an optometrist? Me too. That's the guy you want to connect with. Males, unlike females, we tend to organize around work, meaning our projects that we're pursuing. like for example, Jabrizi Magic and I, we have a lot in common on the style side, on the entertainment side, on the women's side. But when we get together, it's usually like he's schooling me on something on this internet, YouTube, social media influencer game. And if he comes to me and we get together, I might school him on something in terms of like, you know, business products, mass production, international shipping, things like that that are in my wheelhouse that will be helpful to him. So as a man, always remember that you're looking for an exchange of values and goal alignment. And then there'll be other people you might just hit it off with, they're super cool or they live in your same city. But remember, the number one value you're going to get from the conference is friends and network. If you can meet one person that you're going to maintain a relationship with, that you can call them up and ask for a solid and they'll answer your call and actually do it, that's priceless. But beyond that, come ready to take some meaningful notes. Don't write down everything, because I'm going to give you a video. But write down the things that you're going to take a step on. I'm going to teach you how to go through ideation and develop a business concept. Take a business concept, get a prototype or a sample produced. Take a sample or a prototype and get it mass produced, 500 units, 1,000 units at low cost. How to take those units, put them on the online marketplace and sell them while you sleep. When you learn this process, you might not know how to execute it tomorrow or next year, but because you know the whole process, every time you come up with an idea, you get to practice through this process. And eventually, you're going to come up with an idea, you're going to run it through that process, and then you're going to call me up and say, Marquette, I owe you. Yeah, I just made my first million, bro. I just made my first million. And honor me with something when you make that first million. And I prefer you pay me in antique cars. Pay me in antique cars, you heard me?
Okay, we have a couple super chats still to go through. Brother Ray said, coming in from Memphis 10, we need to do another classic. It's up to men like us to attempt encourage reprogramming of simps, non-believers, underachievers into the overcomers that run up numbers.
Bridget, you gotta say that like the pimpin'. Repeat that like the pimpin'.
I don't know how to say it like
you
that.
gotta say that like the pimpin'.
You want to read it?
Brother Ray, I appreciate that, Saint. And I'm looking forward to you coming. One of these sessions we're going to do is called Player Stories. God willing, if you send a note through the contact us form on assassin.com, or if I can remember, I want to invite you on stage because that's going to be like a panel discussion. And we just talking about this playerism, you dig, taking some questions, kind of giving that live YouTube vibe for a little part of the conference. Because I know you real gamed up. We had a session a while back. I'll never forget it.
Okay, Front Street 061 donated. He said, I'll be purchasing my ticket for the audio-visual recordings of the conference. Probably won't be able to physically attend due to scheduling conflicts.
Got it.
Okay. Sorry. Swiffer Wetjet donated. He said, peace to all the saints and see you all at the conference paying tuition.
Peace to the saints. Swiffer Wetjet is always showing up, showing love. I'm excited to meet Swiffer Wetjet. And a number of other people who have hella suspicious names. One cat's name is Central Intelligence Agency. So it'll be good to put faces to names. I'm very excited. And, you know, it's a rare thing that you get men together on the basis of their thoughts. You know, they have the same values. And this is dope because it's not like some phony religious stuff. You know, it's not like...
It's dark over there, just so you know.
Let me just put this up. Were there any other super chats?
Yeah. You were in the middle of talking, though, if you want to finish.
Yeah, I mean, this is not some fake religious stuff because, you know, I've been a religious man for pretty much my whole life. I was raised Southern Baptist, and there was just always something missing. When I was in the church, the preacher would be like, and if you go to Revelations, turn the page, and you catch the Holy Ghost. And he's like doing all of this goofy stuff. And, you know, you got black women catching the Holy Ghost, but with all this theater, no one ever asked anybody in the conference or in the church hall, what's your question? What can I help you with? And anytime you had a problem, no one ever said, let me come serve you, or let me connect you with the right person, or let's talk through a strategy. They always said, I'm going to pray for you. Well, that don't get the job done. I'm sorry, it don't get the job done. And so this is something radically different to where you come with a pen and paper. You come to a place where you can ask your question. You come to a place where you can get strategy. You come to a place where someone else says, I'm going through the same thing. Let's work through it. Prayer's fantastic. Meditation's fantastic. But let's get this work. Come to the conference. You're going to get this work. And it's the same thing across all the religions, is that it comes down to someone saying, I'm going to pray for you. Yeah, we're going to pray for you, but we also going to make you get this work. Because you got to work your way out of a hole. You can't pray your way out of a hole. And I heard a great anecdote told from a religious man. He said, one day I was tending to my garden. The mailman came to deliver some mail. He says, gee, there's a beautiful garden that God has blessed you with. And the gardener said, well, gee, you should have seen this garden when God had it all to himself. Which is to say, before I put my hand down in the soil to work, and God had it all by himself, there was no garden. It was just weeds and dirt. So you are required to put the human hand next to the divine hand to make something happen. And that's what we do in the Assassin. We get that work. And shout out to all the believers. Shout out to all the men and women of faith. You did?
We do have a couple more super chats, but I think this is the first follower from Japan. You have people from all over the world, but Heiko said, any plan for you to come to Tokyo, Japan?
You know what, Heiko, I think this might be the second time either I've heard from Heiko or I've heard from someone else in Japan.
Got it.
There was one other time. And I'm embarrassed because I lived in Korea. And it's such a short trip from Korea to Japan. And a lot of the Korean men would talk about Japanese women endlessly. And so I've heard a lot about the women and the culture, and I've always wanted to go. I currently don't have any plans, and I know Japan, being a very civilized country, probably is not allowing Americans in freely right now. But I think that could be a very fun thing to do. So absolutely, I would consider going to Tokyo. I have no reason not to.
Okay, I think 3 more super chats. Last Ronan donated. He said, some dudes at my job talking trash but won't fight me when I ask for the fade. How do I handle this?
First off, shout out to Last Ronan. Peace to the saint. It's been a while. By the way, I just want you guys to know I don't advocate violence, right? I don't advocate wanton, thoughtless violence. But every now and then somebody got to get their helmet slapped off. But you don't want to ever be a bully. If you tell the little homie, look, man, let's throw these hands, and they don't want the Scooby snacks, just let it go. Because at the end of the day, if you're working in an environment where you need to physically put your hands on someone, and maybe it's more than one person, you might be around low-class people, which is letting you know your environment is rebuking you. Your environment is letting you know you shouldn't be here because you're too good for this environment. Let's be real. If I moved into the hood and I, walk around dressing the way I dress, custom suits, they look in my window and they see all this audio and video equipment, all these computer screens, I'm liable to get robbed because I don't fit in there. You want to be somewhere that you fit in. I kid you not. In front of our place, there's a new Rolls Royce that parks in front of our place, which lets us know we're in the right place. We got other people driving they drive in the car with the double R, the spirit of ecstasy, lets us know we're in the right place. We don't have to worry about people taking things from us because they also have things. We fit in. If you're a person who is a person of merit, of intelligence, of skill, of hard work, and you're around a bunch of lowlifes, you need to get out of there. Get a better job. Go to a better school. Whatever the case is, upgrade. Because if you're around people who need their teeth punched out, you'd be wise to get into a better situation. So that's my honest recommendation. I don't want to see you have to lay a hand on these kids. They don't even want it anyway.
Okay, we have a few more to get through. Wise Thinkers donated. It said,
What do you mean to get through? This is an honor.
okay, it's an
Yes,
honor.
yes,
I just
in
was
the
letting you
Hausa
know.
language,
Okay. Wise Thinkers said, will writing allow me to articulate better, and how?
Yes, because when you're writing, you're going through the process of selecting the proper word. You're being thoughtful. And also, when you're speaking, you should make sure that you think before you speak. Often people, A, speak too much, and then B, they don't think before they speak, and then C, they have a problem with silence. There's nothing wrong with speaking and then resuming your speech after you figure out what you want to say. You don't have to say, no, just shut up. we're in an era where people are so rushed. In times past, you might come to a wise man and ask for his advice, and he would say, I'll get back to you. And then he'd think about it. And he'd get back to you a couple of days later after he thought about it. You don't have to participate in the microwave era. So when you're writing, you're giving yourself an opportunity to be thoughtful and choose the right words. When you're reading, you're learning new words, you're improving your lexicon, your diction, your vocabulary. And those two things in parallel are going to benefit you.
Okay, Strider H donated. He said, I want to say that your Patreon is well worth the money. You are super consistent with content. I appreciate it and encourage others to sign up.
I really appreciate that, and I remember your name. And I also want to add, the thing that motivated me to do this video is because I'm a man of data. As a businessman, I always have to look at the information on a global scale to figure out, am I making money? Am I losing money? What should I expect next month? Can I hire more people? Do I need to fire people? You have to look at the data and information to understand any business that you're doing, right? I was looking at the Patreon data, and I'm very consistent, as the saint said. My patrons usually go like this. You know, each month I gain more and more patrons. Now there are a lot of them who drop off, but there's usually more that join than drop off. So it goes like this. But in the month of December, it's been going like this. Why is that? I know exactly why. Psychology. It's not finance, it's psychology. Well, what's the psychology, Marquette? We're in a month of Christmas. Psychologically, people are cutting back because they want to be able to spend money on gifts and trinkets for people who may or may not care about them. But here's the thing. If you're going to cut back and be more thrifty in the month of December for a pagan holiday, that's fine. But make sure when you cut back, you don't cut back on yourself. Like, that's what I find strange. Don't cut back on yourself. Cut back on giving your money to Starbucks for that coffee. Cut back on giving your money to Netflix for that meaningless entertainment that's not going to move the needle for you. It's not going to help you get a new job or a new perspective. But what I'm seeing from the data is the Patreon is declining this month because people are cutting back on themselves. When people subscribe to my Patreon, you're subscribing for practical lessons. That's why when I go live and people say, oh, I like your show, this is not a show. I'm not here to entertain you. I've been in the entertainment business. I've been in acting, modeling, all that good stuff. That was entertaining, and let me let you know, entertainment money is much better than this money. I'm not here to entertain you. If I was trying to entertain, I'd make real money. I'd get an agent. I'm here to educate you. I'm making teacher money, which is like no money. That's what I'm making. So I'm here to educate you. When you get my Patreon, you get that for education. And I'm talking about self-improvement. I'm talking about improving your relationships, your interpersonal skills. I'm talking about improving your etiquette. I'm talking about improving your business savvy. And so to me, to see people reduce their Patreon memberships this month, it makes me sad, not because I'm losing $6 or $11. I could care less. It makes me sad because I'm seeing them say to themselves, I won't invest $16 in my own education. That's sad. And that's why I'm so thankful for you to remind me of that, because I want to remind you guys, any dollar you put into yourself, that's a dollar well spent. That's not a dollar you spent on McDonald's. That's not a dollar you spent on things that destroy you. That's a dollar you invested into yourself. Whether you would invest it in education from me, or education from someone else, or an online course, or real estate club, whatever it is. Invest in yourself. The people who are wealthy today, that's because they invested in themselves. They're different. You got to be different.
Okay, real quick, all the young guys are connecting with each other, so I know that's something we like to see, building community.
Yes.
Chosen at Will donated. He said, can you elaborate on what a SMART goal is?
Yes. Yes, I can. Bridget, if you would encourage me to try to get some of these archive SMART goal sessions that Daniel led. Shout out to St. Daniel, phenomenal brother who's been leading the SMART goal sessions. The term SMART goal, SMART is an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound. When we say specific, I don't want to hear you say something like, I want to become a professional boxer. That's not a SMART goal. A SMART goal is specific. I want to become a professional boxer no later than February 1st, 2021 in the light heavyweight category. And I want to have my management company in Las Vegas, Nevada. Specific. It's measurable because we have a deadline. Those are the things that help you get specific about your goal. And when you really can think through the specifics, now you can work. If you know that the company or your manager is going to be in Las Vegas and you want to market yourself, you know who to send messages to. You know which companies to email. So these are the things that we go through when we're talking about SMART goals.
Okay. We have Matthew Strudwick donated. He said, tuition, thanks for the knowledge. Shout out to Bridget. Thank you, Matthew. Count Rios donated again.
Count Rios in the building.
He said, Christianity is trash. Holiness is truth. Praise God laws.
Wait, he said, what is truth?
Holiness.
Holiness. Okay, got you. look, Count Rios. Hey, man. I am going to go ahead and say no comments. I'm going to say no comment because one thing I've learned, and it took time, I was certainly not like this in my younger days, and a part of it was not having a wise father to guide me. We should be thoughtful about what we say. There were two pieces of advice I would give you. One from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. A young man went to the Prophet Muhammad and said, give me some advice. And the Prophet Muhammad said, do not get angry. And the young man said, okay, what other advice do you have? And the Prophet Muhammad said, do not get angry. And then the young man said, okay, other than that, what other advice do you have? And the Prophet Muhammad said, well, other than that, I would say, don't get angry. Which is great advice for a male. Anger will lead you to say so many things you wish you could pull back. Your tongue is so small but does such big damage if it's uncontrolled. So that's number one, don't get angry, which also translates to be thoughtful about your words. And then what I would say if the young man came to me and said, Marquette, give me some game, I would say, don't be afraid. And then if he asked me again, I would say, don't be afraid. And if he asked me a third time, I would say, don't ever be afraid. What I mean by that, all the great things that you want in life, there's one thing stopping you. It's called fear. You see a beautiful woman in the supermarket, you don't talk to her because you're scared. It's fear. You might make all kinds of excuses. You see a girl in the gym, she look good, but you didn't talk to her. It's fear. You want a big, important job, but you don't apply, it's fear. Or you don't prepare for the interview, it's fear. You don't think you're good enough. You're scared you won't perform. So my advice, don't be scared. You can do it. Be who you are. And who you are is a great man. Who you are is a great woman. That's my advice. But to Count Rios, he's always pulling up with the super chats, so I truly appreciate that. He's a great example, and he's definitely pulling more than his weight. So thank you for that. I won't make any comments on any religion, but what I will say is that all of the religions have not done enough for mankind. They may be great religions, but the reason I'm building the Assassin and promoting Marquettism is because this is something that we can make work for you today. And your relationships be better, your financial success be better, your happiness be improved, because Jesus from Christianity, he's not around today. And that's why you have a lot of charlatans saying crazy things in the name of Jesus. Muhammad, he's not around today. So you got two groups of people who both claim to be Muslims killing each other. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So this Marquettism is universal. It's for all of mankind. For the man in Japan, the man in Hawaii, the man in the United States, the man in Colombia, the woman in Brazil, the woman in Turkey, whether they're Muslim, Christian, atheist, Buddhist, it's for everyone. So that we can have a very simple, common way of conducting ourselves and showing appreciation to other good people.
Okay, Joe Jackson donated. He said there's a book called King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. Would be a great book for a review. Thanks for all the wisdom.
Appreciate that. Joe Jackson, I don't know if that's actually his name or if he has the name of Michael Jackson's father, who used to whoop his ass That's why he danced so well. You gotta check out that movie. It's a great movie.
Okay.
Jackson 5.
I'm going to butcher this name, but I'm going to say Seringe Kane donated. No comment.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mark the Don 626 donated. He said amen to that. Shout out to Pastor Gino Jennings.
True. Shout out. It says 626.
Yes.
He might be from my hood then. Shout out to the 626. You dig, Pasadena, all of that. You heard me.
Okay, Subade Davis donated. He said, keep spitting, brother. How do you join live?
I think he means like join on screen.
I guess he's just,
If you're talking about joining the screen, joining on screen live, being that we're in Colombia, and I just wanted to go live real quick because I want you guys to not think. I want to talk to you before it's too late, right? Before you make those Christmas gift purchases. I just wanted to talk to you because it was on my mind to tell you guys. Everyone you would have got a Christmas gift for, they're good. But are you good? You need to take care of yourself first. Before you take care of me, before you take care of your mom, even before you take care of your kids, even before you take care of your wife, take care of you. That's why I got on here. So we actually don't have a StreamYard link for people to join on this particular call. But usually when I schedule them in advance, there'll be a StreamYard link. And most recently, I haven't been putting the link public on YouTube. I only put the link private for my members on thesassin.com or my members on Patreon because I don't really want to deal with like weird people getting on. I want to deal with like real saints who are really trying to improve their life and are clear thinking people. So if you're a member of one of those two, when I do schedule a live, the link to join on screen will be there. And because I want people who join on screen to add value to me and to the audience.
okay.
Hey, check this out though. I love this. What's that say? Can they see that?
They can see it.
Yeah. I got my own hand wraps, you dig? Oh yeah, and if you didn't get the Sassin hat, go cop that. You can cop that on the merch link.
Buy yourself a Christmas gift.
Right.
We got shirts too.
Absolutely. And I want you guys to understand the concept of ownership. I don't just talk this. I do this. Ownership. And here's the thing. You could go buy hand wraps from Everlast. I don't even sell hand wraps, by the way. These are just for me. But when you buy something from someone you know, that is keeping money within your community. That money comes back to you. Let me give you 2 examples recently to let you know the kind of man that I am. I went on Danica Dope Discussions. She invited me onto her platform. And so we had a nice little conversation. As soon as I got off, I went online and bought her book. Her book is not targeted at me. Her book is targeted at women. But why? I want to support her. She turned around and go get my book. The money just flows around in the community. Show love to those who show love to you. Deal with people who want to support you. Huh? Has Nike ever bought anything from you? Has Adidas ever given you a discount because you're you? Has Fendi or Gucci ever done you a favor? Do they know who you are? Do they care? No. Own the things you wear. Own the things you use. Or buy from people you know. For example, Gaius is working on a soap. I don't really like to spend money on soap. I'm thrifty, but I damn sure can tell you this. I don't personally know anyone who makes soap. As soon as Gaius comes out with his soap, sign me up, coach. I want some.
Okay, Surin, I apologize. His name is pronounced Surin, and he's joining the Sassin.
Corinne, shout out to the saint. Everyone embrace the saint.
Okay, Mark the Don 626. He said he donated and said, Def from Pasadena. I'm 19. You're the father I never had.
Appreciate that.
I think that means shaking my damn head.
Right.
Peace to the Sassin.
Peace.
And then Pat Adams said he's also from Dina.
Hey, I don't know how my people from Dina happen to pull up on me, but it's an honor to see men from the same soil that I'm from. If you haven't read The Black Box and you're from Dina, get my book because you're going to read it and you're going to understand the slang.
Give them the
You're gonna know
link.
the streets. You're going to know the schools. You're going to know everything. So it's going to be a good one. You can get the ebook and you can read on your phone or read on your computer, what have you, at thesassin, THESASN.com/. The Black Box.
Okay, Count Rios came in again with a
God damn.
donation.
Hey, Count Rios is putting y'all to shame. How many? Let me see. hold on,
He
let me
said
see.
Gino Jennings does spit that hot fire.
Okay.
I think this is his third one tonight.
Okay, look. We got damn near 300 folks on the call. Count Rios is damn near donated 18
For
times.
everyone.
He done donated 18 times. There's some people just sitting there soaking this game up for free. They ain't donated one penny.
Mark the Don donated twice too, by the way.
Oh, no, shout out to everybody who donated. But look, if you have not donated, the least you can do is click that thumbs up because I've been told Jesus already paid for it. So click that thumbs up. Shout out to Count Rios.
Okay, James Kelly donated. He said, Marquette, have you read my message on Patreon about Jordan Peterson? Love your book.
Who said that?
James Kelly.
Curious. Tell them to send me a message through the contact form on thesassin.com. Just cut and paste it. Just cut it and paste it and send it through. If it's anything with regards to making content about Jordan Peterson, I made 2 videos on him, so I probably won't do any more. But regardless, cut and paste it, send it to the contact form. I'm going to check it out. One thing you'll probably notice, and the reason we created thesassin.com, is Patreon has their inbox is a little funny, which means that I can't archive messages. So we have like 700 patrons. When they send messages, it just makes others, it pushes it down in the inbox. So I can't archive them. So it's a little difficult and cumbersome to manage them. So send it through there. I'll take a look.
George Whitehead donated. No comment, just donation.
Appreciate that, George.
And then BWZ said, where can I get the hat, brother?
Shout out. And by the way, a lot of people have gotten the hats and the shirts. And I want you guys to do something for me because the people who get the book, they always tag me on IG on their stories. And I always repost their stories. Because I just love to see where people are when they're reading it. Like one cat tagged me today. The Saint is in Bermuda. I was like, oh, that's dope. It looked like he was on the beach in Bermuda. I was like, that's player. So I love to see things like that. So when you got the Sassin gear on, you representing the Saints, flick it up, tag your boy in a story. We'll make sure we repost it. So we will be able to give you that hat or shirt at thesassin.com/merch, MERCH, or just go to thesassin.com and click merchandise.
Just spell thesassin.com one more time because there's
Okay.
people saying they can't find it. They're spelling it wrong.
Okay, so it's www.thesasn.com, and I'll spell it phonetically, or not phonetically, but you know what I mean. www.T as in Tom, H as in Harry, E as in Echo, S as in Sam, A as in Apple, S as in Sam, N as in Nancy.com.
Okay, we have a donation from D. McCargo.
McFargo?
McCargo, like
McCargo.
yeah.
Okay, talk to me.
he just donated.
I appreciate that, D. That's love. Thank you.
Misa also donated. He said greetings from Canada.
Okay. Oh yeah, shout out to Canada, man. I'm a huge fan of Canadians, not because people say they're nice. That's cool. Nice is cool. But Canadians are intelligent. They're educated, and that's what I like. They're intelligent and they're kind. And to me, that's a great mark of a human being. Because sometimes you find people who are really intelligent and they look down on people. And so shout out to Canadians. I appreciate the culture there. And in T-Dot is some badass, wee, some fine women in Toronto. You dig? I have been through there. I've even been through what's that little town, Regina. I've been through some curious parts in Canada. So thank
Okay,
you.
D. McCargo, who donated, he just messaged, said, I'm older than you, but I've learned from you the last few months.
I appreciate that. And shout out to the Saint because he is showing to us all that if you're a true student, if you're a seeker of wisdom, you learn from everyone. I learned from people who are much younger, people who are older, people who are parallel. For example, I've learned a lot from Jabrizi just about, audio, because a lot of folks are always saying, Marquette, your audio game, improve it. These are always the folks who are not members on Patreon. They're not members of the Sassins, just random people, random strangers. But a member on thesassin.com and on Patreon, I saw each of them say, hey, can you improve the audio? I said, absolutely. We got thousands of dollars worth of equipment on its way as we speak. So they are being heard. And shout out to the Saint because we can learn from everyone. We should always be hearers and be humble enough to learn lessons wherever those lessons present themselves.
Okay, Edward Shaw donated. He said, bless up Marquette. I'm a Saint too in Patreon. I'm a trader on the NASDAQ.
Hey, man. I tell you, I can't figure out the financial markets right now. They're terrifying me. They don't make any sense. Saying I'm wishing you prosperity in the markets.
Okay, Moneymaker donated. He's one of the young ones. He said, "You starting a donation war, brother. Also, we getting those hand wraps for the conference. I need that for the weight room."
That's funny because I actually use my hand wraps to lift as well. So I go in, I shadow box, I'll hit the bag, just take my gloves off, leave on the hand wraps, and lift right after that. And one thing I really like is that you have identity. I mean, I was in my gym yesterday, a regular gym, not a boxing gym, and an older white gentleman came up to me. He's like, "Hey man, like I see you outside jump roping all the time, you know," and people recognize you because you are different, right? And so I'm always encouraging you guys to be remarkable, and undoubtedly the way you train, the intensity with which you train, and the way you look, it's going to matter.
Edward Shaw, he had another comment. He said, "Exactly, it's the non-members that talk the most."
Isn't it crazy? And that's why I try my best to keep my eyes on the prize. And that's what I tell you guys. Keep your eyes on the prize. There's so many big mouth people, big mouth men and women. All they do is this, no action. They're distractions. So I ask myself, I say, who are the people who really count to me? People on patreon.com, people on assassin.com. Period. Those are the people I focus on. The ones I'm actually going to meet going to the conference, those are the ones I focus on. Real relationships. All these other people who are saying goofy things, I read a comment earlier today. A guy said, "You have some great info, but your head's shaped like an acorn." I was just like, this is so childish. This is like silly.
I'm laughing at the way you said it.
It's just silly, right? It's goofy. And I felt sorry for him because I was thinking, bruh, you're like 25 years old and you feel the need to mention this. When you become a real man, come in, this dude, come in. When you become a real man, do you know how much is on your mind that you never say? When you become a real man, do you know how many thoughts you have that no one else will ever know? When you become a real man, you live way up there in the clouds. You don't have to come down to earth to let people know all of what you're thinking. You don't waste your words. When you use your words, people take them seriously because they have power, because you don't say things frivolously. And I was just looking at this petty comment and I was thinking, so feminine. You're just telling me all your thoughts. There's no strength in that. So I want to encourage you guys, keep your eyes on the prize. There's a couple videos I did. There's one, it was a critique, and the guy in the video had something on his head, and something goofy. He's a feminine guy, something goofy. And people were in the comments like, "What's that on his head? Is that the point of this video?" No, ignore that. Don't even entertain that. When you're a man and you're managing a woman, you'll really be able to manage that woman well when you don't engage in the BS. Because every now and then they get engaged in pettiness. Don't even deal with it. Ignore it. A real man lives in his mind.
Okay, we have Chris J. He said the Patreon is worth every cent.
That means a lot because I try my best to, I never make a video like, "Oh, I gotta make a video. What can I make a video about?" No, I don't ever do that. I either make a video because I had an experience, or I had a thought, or I was reading my own book and I thought, "Oh, I know people are gonna go through this." Or one of my patrons said, "Hey, I have this specific problem. Can you make something on this?" So I don't ever do it just to do it. I do it because it has meaning. And so I try my best to make sure I'm delivering value. So that means a lot to me. I thank you for that.
Okay, Count Rios came in again with a donation.
He's stunting. He's stunting. He's stunting, man. Look, and Count Rio, shout out, because I like to stunt too. I ain't gonna lie to you. You did. I like to stunt too. That's why you be seeing me in mariachi suits, because I like to stunt. He mariachi pimping right now.
Okay, we have Lee E. He donated. He said, "Curious, do you only work on one startup at a time, or do you work on multiple ventures? If so, how do you juggle the different ventures or pick the one to focus on?"
So, is he talking about me, or is he talking about
He said, "Curious, do you only
Okay,
work?"
So if he's talking about me, yeah, for sure. I mean, I kid you not, and Bridget can attest to this. We were in our office in Missouri, Fletch office, working on Fletch stuff. My partner was in there. He's also a technologist. You know, we're looking at this hardware device, a Bluetooth device, and he was like, "Now, I wonder what else we could use that for. And I was like, I bet we could reverse engineer this and use this to find your keys or find your cell phone. And he's like, oh yeah, that's interesting. Boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, we create a company called MyKey. We're bringing in 500 units every order. Put them on Amazon. Boom, they're going like hotcakes. That's another startup. I can name a couple more. Sometimes I think I like a startup and I really don't. Like Subscription Splitter. I just want to do a video for you guys to show you how to go through the ideation process of creating a software startup. We built the whole product, built the whole thing, put it up. The website's still live. I need to shut it down. I forgot about it because it just wasn't fascinating. When you are as productive as I am, meaning you produce things in the world, I forgot about it. And then I kid you not, I got a payment and I was like, where'd this payment come from? And I was trying to figure out where the money came from and it was from subscriptionsplitter.com. I had to refund the guy. I told him like, hey man, like this is not even a real business. I'm so sorry. Here's your money back. So that lets you know how productive I am. Some businesses, they take off, they make a lot of money. Those are the ones I focus on. Other businesses were just a fun idea. But when you get to this level to where you know how to work the machines, then you know it's easy. If you're just starting off on your first company, you want to do one at a time, for sure.
Okay, I'm not skipping the other snaps or super chats, but Moneymakers donated again and said, I'm trying to beat Count Rios. Thanks again for the game, brother. And then Count Rios countered him and donated again. I'm going to get back to all the other super chats. In the meantime, we did have Diva Divine bought your book, and so did Rolando J. Rios.
I appreciate that.
Andy Zalea donated. He said, grateful for the knowledge. If I would unsubscribe to all the channels, I would definitely only leave this one.
Preach.
Oop, sorry, go ahead.
You know what? I almost want to get off this call so I can donate. I want to get on and donate because and I want you guys to always have that competitive spirit. Not that you want to, downgrade anyone, but that you just love the game. You heard me? I've heard people disparage Floyd Mayweather and say, well, why is he still gonna fight Jake Paul or Logan Paul, and why is he still trying to make money? I thought he was rich. That's what rich people do. They love the game. The game is make money. So he's gonna continue working. Whatever your game is, if your game is basketball, keep playing. That's what keeps you sharp. And I love competition. And I don't even really care what the competition is. I want to win it. You heard me? And so like messing with Count Rios right now, like I damn near want to get on my computer so I can super chat. You heard me? Like, cause that's the kind of guy I am. And if you don't have that in you, you're never gonna get to the top. If you don't have that in you, you better find a way to put it in you, because competition is what drives capitalism. Capitalism is the most productive economic system ever on earth. And it's based on competition. It's based on, you got T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, and all three of them want to be the top dog. That's why they keep on offering new services and new things. Competition. iPhone and Android, they both want to be the top dog. They're all trying to monopolize, meaning make sure they're at the top of the mountain and there are no others. Competition.
Okay, I did miss another one of Moneymaker's donations. He said, also, don't worry about getting me that hotel. I'm going to pay for it. I'm just going to have to pick up extra shifts from Target.
Okay. Yeah, and I want you guys, and shout out to Moneymaker for being an honorable man, because we are, did we say we're covering
Four.
hotels? Okay. Which, mind you, I'm going to set them up in decent accommodations, you know, so like we're going to be spending some serious bread. And all I ask is for the teenagers that I cover your hotel, don't be charging room service on my goddamn name. I have to catch you and whip your ass, okay? But as a man, you're always going to sacrifice. But remember, especially as a young man, energy is what you got. That's what you got to give. I'm still young too. A lot of you guys don't realize you're still young. Energy is what you have to give. I don't have, at this stage in life, as much time to give. But when you're young, all you have is time. Because your time is not valued at a high dollar rate. All you have is time. All you have is energy. Focus it to the right places. Picking up an extra shift is not going to hurt a young man. Shit, it won't hurt anybody if I'm being real here. So put yourself to the test. Go harder. If there's anything I can tell you, you can always go harder. What's the next extra inch? Are you trying to set a personal best? Are you trying to beat yourself? Are you trying to be better than the man you were yesterday? Look, Saints, We just got to this new city, and I've never been to Colombia before. We've been to, I think Panama is the closest we've come, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I got to look at a map because I'm not even exactly sure where I am. I think we're next to Venezuela, but I'm going to look at a map. We need to get out in the world. It has been truly a pleasure.
We have a couple more super chats to get through.
Acknowledge those super
I didn't
chats.
realize you were ending there. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Ooh, X Cameron donated. No comment, just donation.
Appreciate that, X.
Ahmad De Guzman said, met you last Halloween weekend in LV at the Bellagio, which we were in Las Vegas at Halloween, so I think that's probably true. He said,
So we were or
we were 100% here last year. He said, you showed me and my homies how to get down at the craps table. Appreciate what you're doing, man. You spit that real game, which is rare.
That's crazy.
We were in Las Vegas for Halloween
Okay.
because we went to that MMA fight on
Oh,
Halloween.
was that with the Brazilians where
Yeah.
you went out?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
We were 100% here or
that's
there.
crazy. That's
Okay,
crazy.
yeah, so he for
So-
sure.
So did I ask? Well, saying did I
Ahmad.
meet you before you started messing with Assassin? Like I just met you off some like regular shit before you were messing with Assassin. I'd be curious to hear the backstory on that.
Okay,
So shout out.
Avel donated saying showing appreciation, safe travels, Marquette.
Oh, I think I remember who this cat is.
You wanna see him?
Yeah, I think I got him on IG. Like we had exchanged IGs. This is the cat from the.
From Las Vegas.
That's crazy. That's dope. That's dope, man. That's a beautiful thing. It's a
Okay.
beautiful thing.
Misaki Sanaj donated. It just is, I think, a sticker thing saying thank you. And then I believe he did also message saying, I just picked up a hat. Much love, Sasson.
Hey, when you get that same center gear you dig, flick it up. You heard me? I want to see you looking good. Hey, and check this out. If we have any saints in Colombia, I always show up to a country with fabric because I want to get something made. I want to get a new jalaba made. So if you know a good tailor in Colombia that makes things from scratch, holla at your boy because I brought my fabric. I got my button gang here. We want to make something unique. So let's get that.
Okay, Nelson Carrillo donated.
Nelson, appreciate it.
Moneymaker and Count Rios are on it again. Moneymaker donated and said, I think I just beat Count Rios, and then Count Rios countered again.
Talk that talk. Yeah.
Matthew S. donated. He said, Marquette, if you could recommend one country for someone who has never left the U.S. to go to, which would it be? That's a meaningful question.
That is a meaningful question. And I always want to remind the saints, goals. Be goal-oriented in everything. Ask yourself, what do I want out of this experience? What do I want out of this person? So when you ask me, which country should I go to for someone who's never been out of the country, my first thought is, well, what experience are you looking for? If you're like Marquette, bruh, I want to see some of the baddest, finest women in the world. Like, where do I go? Well, then that's a certain kind of conversation. That's a certain country you want to go to. You feel me? Because what I can tell you is if you like Marquette, I want to go. I want to meet some gorgeous women. I want to have some crazy sexcapades. I'd say, don't go to China. I'd say, don't go to Korea. The Korean women are gorgeous, but they're conservative. You know, if you say Marquette, I want to see things that look like a movie. I want to see things that you only see in dreams. I want to see things that are very foreign. I say, go to Morocco. Go to Morocco. Anywhere in Morocco. If you say, I want to go to the most beautiful island you've ever seen, I say, go to Zanzibar. You know, if you say, I want to see the biggest booty like I could ever hope to see, I'd say, well, sit down, son. We have a long conversation to have. I got a couple recommendations.
Real or fake? Real or fake?
What's that?
I said real one or fake one.
Well, if you want them fake, come on down to Colombia. If you want them fake, go to the Dominican.
Okay, we have, so Ahmad responded, he said, got your IG and just picked up Assassin.
Preach.
And then Zest D donated and said, yo, Ahmad, what's up? Small world. Not sure if they know each other or just
Okay.
saying small world that he
Might.
met you. Not sure. Moneymakers donated again and said, Count Rios, you lost. Just stop. And then Count Rios, and then Count Rios countered again.
That shit.
And then Moneymakers just donated again.
Look, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't play basketball anymore. I don't, because as soon as I started throwing hands, I said I don't want to. Like, I've fighting on the streets and playing basketball. I've like hurt my fingers and my knuckles a lot. So when I started boxing, I said no more basketball. But I miss basketball because I love talking shit. Y'all know I like talking shit. And so I just love hearing it. I love talking it. It's just a LA Pasadena thing. You dig? So look, I miss basketball because I miss talking. In boxing, you can't really talk shit like that because as soon as you open your mouth, your jaw is exposed, right? You get popped in the open jaw, it's going to break. So I miss that, man. Y'all enjoy. I appreciate the super chats. I love the competition.
I think I'm caught up in all of
You're
them.
caught up. Absolutely. Well, Saints, I appreciate you coming to fellowship with me today. It has been truly a pleasure and a joy. And I want you to know that I take this time out of my holiday, out of my vacation, to talk to you because this month, when everyone else is spending frivolously, be thrifty. When everyone else is spending on people they think love them, think about the people who have given you opportunities. It might be worth writing them a Christmas card. Think about the people who have helped you advance in the world. Might be worth giving them a gift. But before you do any of that, give yourself a gift.
So I think I'm saying it right. Soren just donated again, and then Moneymakers donated one more time saying, Count Rios, you done.
I love it. I love it. I love that he's not just donating, he's donating and sending some comments too. Shout out. Before you do any of that, donate to yourself. Guys, I want you to be fabulously wealthy so that you can give more to other people. To give is the greatest joy.
And Count Rios just came back.
Count Rios is going up. To give is the greatest joy. Not everyone has that privilege. I want all of the saints to have that privilege. I want you guys to be wealthy enough to give me a motherfucking Rolls Royce antique, or what was that Mercedes, the Goldwing?
Yeah.
Which was that, the 300 SL? I forget. But whatever, if you can afford to give somebody else a $3 million car, you ballin'. And I wish that abundance for all of you. In all seriousness, I want you to have abundance so that you can provide for yourself, you can provide for your family, and you have the joy of giving to others. You can only do that when you start giving to yourself first. Now listen to me. I said give to yourself. I didn't say give to me, didn't say give to your mom, your kids. Give to yourself first. Put yourself at the top of your Christmas list this month. And for every year forward, put yourself number one on that Christmas list. I appreciate you all being here with me. If there's no other super chat I need to acknowledge right now.
No.
I'm going to go into the Creed of the Assassin. We're going to end this the way we always end this. Wherever you are, say this with
Moneymakers
full
came back
conviction.
one more time.
You say this with full conviction. Moneymaker took him out, huh? Did he talk any trash?
Not that time. It was
Did he talk no
just
trash?
donation.
Okay, cool. Okay. The Creed of the Assassin. Repeat this after me with full conviction, knowing that this is true of you. I am going to be who I truly am because I am remarkable. And I'm going to strive every moment to show the greatest part of who I am. Until next time, saints, thank you for being with me.